Meth plus sex equals addiction, yes!
Alright, what's up everybody? Welcome to my garage, yet again. Alright, so this is going to be the start of a new series. This is going to be the first video for the new motorcycle maintenance. And turn on the light. What we're going to be doing today is, well, tomorrow I have a big ride that I'm going to be going on. It's probably going to be about a total of 300 miles or so. So if you're ever going to go on a ride that's in excess of 100 miles or so, you always want to do a vehicle inspection, a bike inspection, and fix things that need to be fixed and things of that sort. Alright, so a couple of things that you'll need. First off, you'll need beer. Helps relax your nerves. Of course, I got my beer here in a chalice. The only way a man should drink is beer. Got a hookah. Gotta have that hookah. And then also your laptop, which play your favorite music. Honestly, I like working on my bike to music and all that. Today I'm not going to be because I'm doing this video for you. Alright, so let's get started. So on this side, this is the bike complete and everything like that. I already washed the bike earlier today and let it dry and everything like that. Whenever you wash your bike, you always want to clean your chain. Get a good chain cleaner. What I use is this stuff right here. It's by Maxima or Maxima, however the fuck you want to pronounce it. It is an awesome chain cleaner. It's in a little shaker can. Gets that chain all nice and cleaned up. So first off, we're going to talk about how to clean your chain. Now, three things you'll need. First is a good chain cleaner, which, here, let me bring everything out. You need chain cleaner. So you got your chain cleaner. You're going to need chain lube, which is the chain lube that I use is by Coolant. It is an awesome chain lube. I've been using it for a while and really haven't had any problems with it. So you're going to need that. Another thing that you will need, and honestly is a must for any person that has a bike, is going to be a grunge brush. Now, what you're going to do, I'm going to put my grunge brush on my bike since I already cleaned it. You're going to clean your chain. Whenever you wash your bike, have your bike on a rear stand. And what you're first going to do is focus on your chain. What you're going to do is you're going to spin the tire like this. Now, a big must. You must not turn your bike on and put it in gear. That is a huge mistake that a lot of people make. Is they turn their bike on, put it in gear, and everything starts spinning. Now, I'll tell you why not to do that. It sounds like a great idea, but it's not. The reason being is because the stuff that you use when you clean it and wipe it down with a rag and all that, when it's spinning, your finger can get caught in the sprocket. If your finger gets caught in the sprocket, 90% chance that finger is coming off. So do not do that. A lot of people make that mistake and it ends up badly for them. So big word of advice, do not turn your bike on, have the key out of the bike. All right. So your reason why you have it on the rear stand, you spin it freely like this. What you're going to do is you're going to come over here on the sprocket end and you're going to spray right here. You're just going to have a nice continuous spray and keep turning it like this. And use the chain cleaner liberally. You know, use a lot of it. It's better to use too much than to not use enough to get your chain cleaned. Now, once you get the whole thing soaked in the chain cleaner, what you're going to want to do is same thing right here. You're going to take your grunge brush and start just scrubbing it down. your grunge brush is going to get both sides plus the top of the chain. Now, once you feel you've gotten the chain, you know, a good couple of times, you're going to come over here to where, yes, I do need to adjust my chain. We'll go over that in a little bit. You're going to want to come over the top and get the bottom and go over that a few times. Now, once you've gotten your chain scrubbed down and everything, you're going to want to get your hose and very lightly wash down your chain and spin your wheel. It's going to go ahead and get all that gunk off. You'd be surprised of all the stuff that is in your wheel, and it's pretty freaking nasty. So you do that, and then you wash your wheels, then you wash your bike. When you are done washing your bike and it comes down to drying everything with your chain, what you're going to do is you take a terry cloth. I use a terry cloth instead of a napkin because the terry cloth is going to absorb a lot more. The napkin, once it's dirty, it's just going to start spreading stuff all over your sprocket, and it's going to look sick, like disgusting, and you know, what's the point in cleaning your chain if it's just going to get dirty? So what I do is I wrap the terry cloth right here, spin the wheel, get it nice and dried up. So right now the chain is dry. We'll go over lubing up the chain in a bit. So what you want to do is you want to check your tires. So what we're going to do is check the tires. Right now they have little wear bars inside of them that tell you when you need to change your tires. This front one is just about to the wear bar, so this will probably be my last big ride on this tire. So this is going to have to go real soon. Unfortunately, I don't have a tire on me and a tire changer, or else this would be gone tonight. So you want to look at that. Also want to look at your rear tire. My rear tire, sorry there's not a lot of light. My rear tire actually has plenty of tread. I don't have to worry about that for a while. So we're good on that. Again, look at the wear bars. You'll see a little notch in between the tread grooves, and that will let you know when you need to change out your tires. Alright, so you have your front brake master cylinder up here. Right now it seems like it's fine. It's above the level, so we're good on that. We don't need to touch that. If you do ever need to fill this up, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take these two screws off, wipe around this because you don't want to get any dirt inside your oil, your brake fluid. You're going to take that off, wipe everything down, fill it to the recommended spot, and then close it back up. For the rear, I took everything off already just to save a little bit of time. Mine is going to be right here, as with a lot of people. Now, in order to get to this, I need to remove that screw. So that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, so I loosened this up. Now you can see there's a level here. There's a notch down there for lower and a notch up here for higher, basically full and low. So I'm right in between that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put a little bit in there, not a lot. So you take that screw out. Be very careful because this is plastic. You don't want to have to end up getting a new one the day before your ride. So what we're going to do is, shoot, I don't have anywhere to set up the camera. I'm going to take this cap off and try and keep it level, and we're just going to top this off a little bit. Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and topped it off. It's now at the full mark. What you're going to want to do is, with it open, with one hand you're going to hold this level and keep it open. With the other hand, what you're going to do is you're going to press on the rear brake pedal. Now what that's going to do is that's going to get any air bubbles out of the lines. The last thing you want to do is have air bubbles in your brake lines, just because that would be pretty bad. It could mess up your braking system. You won't brake efficiently, things of that nature. So that's what we're going to do really quick. Alright, so no air bubbles came out, so that's good. So what we're going to do, sorry for the camera angle, we're going to put the caps back on. Bam. All right. So we've gone ahead, sealed everything up. Just gonna want to tuck that back in here, back to where it's supposed to go. I'm gonna put this screw back in here. It's kind of hard with one hand. Now what you're gonna want to do when you put on a screw is you're gonna want to try and hand tighten it first. What that's going to do is that's going to prevent cross-threading. If it's a little too difficult at first with your hand, then you should probably take it out, or you should take it out and do it again. Alright, so we got that. And take a little wrench. Now keep in mind, this is plastic. The bracket behind it is metal. This is plastic, and this is part of your cylinder. If you crack this, that could end pretty badly, because that crack could spread to this. Last thing you want to do is be leaking brake fluid, and also it is oil, and what's right there? Your tire. You leak oil, gets on your tire, it's going to end up pretty badly, so we're going to avoid that. So what you're going to do is you're only going to tighten this just a little bit. Can't even use a ratchet yet. Alright, so got that on there. Just a little snug, not tight. Remember, do not tighten it down. Just snug. Alright, so we're done with the brakes. Next, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to check your coolant, your engine coolant. Now mine, it's different on every bike. Mine is right here. This is the cap. Down here is a little cylinder. It's kind of silly that it's down there. Anyways, I'm looking at my cylinder. I'm at the low level, so we're going to go ahead and top that off. Okay, so what you're going to need for this is you're going to need a funnel. Since I got to get back there, I got to use the extended funnel, and it's a smaller hole, so you got to use a small hole. What you're going to want to do is save yourself the trouble. Buy pre-diluted antifreeze coolant. You can use the same stuff you put in your car. And when it comes to summertime, what we're going to do is we're going to flush the whole coolant system, and we're going to put this other stuff that is supposed to make the bike run about 10 degrees colder, and that is going to be done over at Orange Uranium. So hopefully Scott will allow me to go ahead and show you guys a video when we do that. Alrighty, so, and also I use Prestone for my engine coolant. Reason being is you always want to use a name brand, because they put out quality stuff. Now be careful, because there's going to be some stuff in there. Alright, so just going to go ahead and stick that in there. Now keep in mind that when you're doing this, this is a smaller reservoir than you would find in a car. So only add a little bit at a time, and keep checking to see where you're at as far as your fluid levels, because you also do not want to overfill. Never want to overfill anything. It's designed to be filled to a certain amount for a reason, so never overfill. Alright, so we're at the full mark. Before you take it all the way out, just give it a nice little shake, get any little droplets off of it. Cool. Now, you always want to keep your coolant away from children. There's a warning label on the back that says it tastes like candy. Also, you want to make sure this guy is clean, so there's no dirt or anything. So, you always want to keep it away from children, because on the back, on the warning label, it says that it tastes like candy. So, I don't know how they figure it tastes like candy unless someone was dumb enough to taste it. Make sure that's nice and snug on there. Alright, so that's done. The reason why you want to keep it away from children, aside from it tasting like candy, is because that it is lethal. You can die from it. So, that's not a good thing. Alright, so coolant is done. Brake fluids are done. Another thing you want to check is your brakes. I did just have that done over at Orange Uranium, so we don't have to worry about that. Next thing you're going to want to do is your engine oil. So for me, I have a dipstick right here. For a lot of people, they have a little peep, a little glass lens on the engine case that shows the level of the oil, and you fill it up to the recommended amount on that. I got a dipstick here, so we're going to go ahead and show you how to check your oil with a dipstick. Now, what you're going to need is a warm bike, which my bike is not warm, so we're going to go ahead and turn it on for a bit and warm it up. And also you're going to need a rag, and you'll see why in a bit. So right now we're going to go ahead and warm up the bike, and I'll be right back. Okay, so the bike is warm now, so what we're going to do, sorry if the camera's shaky, is right here is the dipstick. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and unscrew that. Try and do this. Oh, shit. Unscrew that. You're going to get your clean cloth. What I use is a shop rag. You're going to go ahead and clean this off so it's nice and clean. You can see everything in it. You're going to go ahead and just put it in there. Do not screw it in. And then you're going to remove it and double check. Now, my oil right now is perfect. Partly because I just had work done on my bike at Orange Uranium, and that was part of the service. Well, they had to drain the oil and refill it. So that was only like a week ago, so we're good on that. Alrighty. If you did need to fill it, what you would do is you would unscrew this here, add oil to there, and then close it up and repeat the process. Alrighty. So now that's done. We got frame sliders here, which I added to the bike about a month ago. Haven't gone down, thankfully. I hope I never have to use these. That's staying on there pretty tight, so that's not going anywhere. Double check the other side. That's not going anywhere either. Alright, so the last thing for your vehicle inspection is your chain. Now earlier, like I said, we washed the chain. It is clean. It is just not lubed. So we're going to go ahead and go over that right now. What you're going to need is your chain lube. I keep the straw on it. That way I know exactly where I'm spraying and it doesn't just go everywhere. What you're going to do is, to avoid making a mess, because messes are not good. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the lube, get this, you're going to kind of cover your tire too. The last thing you want is lube on your tire. That would not be good, especially if you're like me and you lean. So we're going to go ahead and go across. Perfect, that's lubed. Rotate. Start again. Sorry if it's a little dark. So that's good. We're going to go again. You're going to keep doing this until you've got the whole chain covered. And you'll know when you have the whole chain covered because you will see the lube on the chain. Now, another big advantage to having your bike on a rear stand when you do this inspection is everything has to be level. So if you're like me and you do stuff on your bike for the most part by yourself, it's going to come in handy. If not, you're going to have someone sit on the bike and keep it upright for you, which can become a hassle. So save yourself some time, buy a rear stand. It's an outstanding investment. You use it a lot more than you think you would. And we're just about done with the chain. And there it is. Alright. So the chain is now all nice and lubed up. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to avoid riding the bike for a minimum of a half hour. Reason being is because the lube is still wet on there. You just need to give it time to soak into the O-rings or X-rings, whichever you have. On my bike right now I have X-rings. So go ahead and take care of that. I thought that was the last thing, but then I thought of it, and we need to tighten this chain because this chain is a little loose, or to some people a lot loose. So we're just going to go ahead and try and tighten that up just a tad. And the way we're going to do that is right here. There's a little nut right there. We're going to loosen the nut here, back that out on both sides, loosen this here. We're going to adjust it with this nut. Now it is different on sport bikes, other sport bikes. So for some reason Yamaha decided to do it that way on this bike, which I think is stupid. So we're going to go ahead and adjust that now. Alright, so now if you do not feel comfortable tightening your chain, you're just not familiar with how to tighten it or anything like that, or if it's too tight, things of that nature, what you can do is Orange Uranium does free chain adjustments. So just take it on in there. If you're ever in the area, tell them I sent you. They'll go ahead and tighten up your chain for you. It's a real quick, easy process. Doesn't take but a minute for them. For me, it's longer. And they'll go ahead and do that for you. Now, what I don't like is sometimes these two nuts get stuck together, which that's partly why I don't like this design. So, alright, so that's loosened up. You're going to want to go ahead and tighten this. Just going to go ahead and move this side. Tighten that up just a little bit. Then we're going to go ahead and go on this side. Do the same thing. And try and line them up. Now you shouldn't have to tighten the chain that much. Oh shoot, that's really tight. Alright, so we're going to loosen it up just a tad. So this is just about smack center, 1, 2.5. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this side. And we're going to, actually, that's it. That's spot on. Alright, so you're going to go ahead and close these up with your hand. You're going to come to the other side. Tighten that up with your hand. You're going to go ahead. What I'm using is the stuff that came in my toolkit. That came with the bike. You're going to go ahead and just tighten those down. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to tighten up that axle nut. Let's see here, I need a 22. So you're going to want to get a torque wrench. Now the torque on that is 80 pounds. What you're going to want to do is on this side, you're going to want to hold on with one hand. And on the other, you're going to want to watch the torque meter. Just because I have an old school one, so you got to watch the torque meter. On the newer ones, there's a click, so you just listen for the click and stop at the click. So we're going to go ahead and do that real quick. And you just go over and double check your chain. That's where I want it. You're all set. Alright guys, so that's how you do your pre-ride vehicle maintenance and inspection. If you guys have any questions or you feel I missed anything, go ahead and leave a comment in the comment section down below. Aside from that, I'm going to go ahead and throw these frames back on and upload this video for you. And I will catch you guys on the next one. And to be honest, actually, probably do a video of the ride tomorrow, having some fun. So see you guys on the next video. Thank you.